Good morning. Happy Sunday, 7:30 a.m. Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, trying to get my coffee in. I haven't started it till just now, just for you. Just for you. There you go. That's for you. Today, I need to say thank you to Air Frying Annie. Shauna, my very first YouTube member. Like BFFs forever. Thank you so very much. I've been playing with the notion, excuse me. I had been playing with the notion of setting up memberships for some time. I've mentioned it on some of the lives that we've done, Tuesday lives and such. I decided just to go and put up a 99-cent membership. Not really mention it. I had spent up for about a week or so. Not really going to mention it. Just leave it there. If people wanted to support, they could. Only 99 cents. I mean, we'll probably get like 60 cents of that, but that's fine. But yeah, just a little something, you know. But I'd really do appreciate you, Shauna. And I hope you got your video worked out. You didn't send me anything, so I'm guessing that you got it worked out. It looked okay. I want to address Cindy in the house. Cindy will be my guest next Saturday on Saturday Sit Down. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, excuse me, everybody. She's also coming in on Wednesday to have lunch with us, her and her husband. And Jen Delaney is coming as well. I don't know for sure if Brian is coming. You may know him as Dave. John Guggenheim is in the house. Joe is in the house. Jen Joyment is here. Speaking of the wonderful Jen Delaney. John Guggenheim. Oh, goodness. John's been up since 3 a.m. He got us partying off to an early start, I suppose. Danny Beach is in the house. Thank you all so much for being here, hanging out with me this early hour. It means the absolute world to me. Another thing that I wanted to talk about. Let me see if I can show this. I don't know if I can. We'll see. I'll try to show it. I know I need to send it over here. You know. I appreciate your patience as I silently navigate through my computer because I am a pokey when it comes to this kind of stuff. There we go. So if you can see right in here, I hit overnight or yesterday 4,000 subscribers. I didn't do it all on my own. No, I didn't do it on my own. I've had a lot of help. Help from Chandra. Help from other friends that helped me get this channel started. Helped me learn how to accomplish some of the things that I've been able to accomplish with video editing, recording. All of you wonderful people for showing up, hanging out with me, watching my content. And a huge shout out goes to Wes at Highfalutin Low Carb because about, I don't know, a year, 2 years ago, I had made a post on my Keto Indianapolis page that I was trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and I was at like 800 subscribers, 750, something like that. He shared that out to his people and got me over 1,000 subscribers. And I shared out that I was about 50 subs away from 4,000, and I was or had released 400 or 500 videos, or 500 videos is what I had released up to that point. And I was very excited to hit that 500 number mark because that's ridiculous in the grand scheme of things. It means I've created 500 pieces of content out there for this community and for myself, let's be honest. And he shared that out and got me over the 4,000 hump, and I'm at like 4,020 subscribers, and that's I mean, I don't really have words for that. This community is amazing, you know? Everything that all of you do, everything that a lot of our creators or a lot of the creators in this community do, it's a lot of selflessness that goes on, and building this community is just makes me all emotional and stuff. So let's see. Jen said he might be, just depends on how tired he is. He wants to go. I hope he does. Maybe you let him sleep on the way. You drive and let him sleep. I don't sleep very well in the car because if I'm not driving, I'm kind of like, if I'm asleep in the passenger seat means I'm really tired. And like on the way back from Florida, I slept like mostly through Georgia because we like the last Bucky stop I picked up the driving and I drove us all the way home. But it's just really difficult for me to sleep in the car. Thank you, Cindy. And I couldn't have done it without you. And John saying he enjoys the Saturday sit down interviews and he's not that active on Saturday morning chat because I clean on Saturday mornings and have it on in the background. I appreciate anyone just listening. And I know that the participation in the chats and the Saturday sit downs, I want to get to people, but I also want to let the guests talk as much as they, and get everything out that they need to say. You know, Wes is truly, truly an amazing person and an amazing part of our community. And if you don't know who he is, which I would hope that you do, but if you don't, go check out Highfalutin Low Carb over on YouTube. He has some of the coolest videos where he does head-to-head competitions between different keto recipes. I believe he even has a channel that's not keto dedicated for other types of recipes because he does like to cook more than just keto recipes. So check him out, take a look at his channels, watch his content. He's got endless amounts of amazing content. And he's just the most down to earth sounding guy. I haven't met him, so I have to go with sounding, but his actions speak louder than his words do. So I imagine he's just as down to earth as he sounds on video. Yeah, he's just the best guy. So, how was your week? And I'll tell you a little bit about my week. Um, Monday, I hung out with the granddaughter as Chandra had picked up a day for work. So she and I hung out, and then Tuesday was a normal day for us. I did some DoorDash during the day. DoorDash this last week and a half or so since I've started back up since being back from vacation has been lackluster and almost losing me money. So I don't know how much longer I'm actually going to continue to try doing DoorDash. I am looking at a couple of different jobs. Maybe work at Costco if they'll hire me and give me the kind of hours and time off that I need. Because I want to continue to do Tuesday lives and Chandler likes to pick up on Mondays. And if she picks up a Monday, that's going to be more money than I make in a whole week at Costco. So that's just one of those things that like it'll be more important. So I'm also looking at maybe there's a new sporting goods store in our area that I may take a look at getting a job, maybe run the cashier. I don't know. I'm a people person. Sift, y'all. Sift. Joe says, "You're my drive to work entertainment today. You couldn't find anything more entertaining than me? Oh, come on." But I appreciate you. Says, "So I get the satisfaction of just being a listener." Hey, I appreciate you. And I hope that your drive to work is uneventful. Traffic is clear, and you make it to work safe and early. But not too early because you don't want to be like off the clock at your job. So Jen's asking she can't find the membership thing on my channel. Let me see if I can find it here. Let's see. Let's see. It's the join button right here. I don't have a little way to mark that, but it's right here with join. Yeah, just 99 cents. Nothing special, just shout outs, helpful. You get the little colorful things for as long as you've been a member. It just helps us out a lot. If anybody would be interested in furthering and doing more, let me know. I just didn't have any idea or any value that I could add, because I didn't want to ask for anything unless I was adding, so much more value than I'm doing now. Um, Cindy says she's watched so many of Wes's videos, one after the other. I could just reiterate, sift y'all. So often that Brian went online, found a red apron and white polka dots, and had that put on it. I'm surprised. I'm surprised he doesn't have some kind of merch that says sift y'all. Because I've got an apron from Sahil over at Headbangers Kitchen that says enough jibber jabber or something like. I can't think. I think that might be what it says. You're already late? For shame, Joe. For shame. Well, I'm sure it's on the phone app. I mean, I don't know. I think it's down there too. I don't know. Like I said, I hadn't even mentioned that I had put it up yet. Um, because it kind of makes me feel like I don't know, because I just want to make sure I'm providing value to anybody who's giving me money. But I'm just a person I put it because to be honest, it's like because YouTube's like, you haven't set it up. You haven't set it up. Hey, do you want to set this up? Hey, 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 do you want to set this up? And I'm like, fine, I'll do 99 cents because I support a few of my friends' channels and such that have like 99-cent ones on there. And it's cool. I mean, like one of my friend Nick, that I do the Toxic Tuesdays live stream on. Like if you do the 99-cent one, you get like a pizza emoji next to your name. And I thought that was really cool. Because I mean, anybody that knows Nick knows that Nick loves pizza, lots and lots of pizza. I don't know how he's still skinny. Pizza and beer. I don't know how he's skinny, but he is. What am I cooking for Thanksgiving? All right. So, what I'm cooking for Thanksgiving, I got two turkeys because for some reason Walmart had little turkeys, like 14-pound turkeys. So I got two 14-pound turkeys. Now, mind you, I'm only cooking for us. So I'm cooking for me, Chandra, our three kids, their significant others, and our bonus kid and the granddaughter. So there's gonna be like 8 of us, as far as I'm aware. I know our middle kid was dating someone, but we never met her, and she has like an 18-month-old. We don't even know what her name is, I don't think. Um, but obviously, our oldest has a significant other and a baby, or a 5-year-old. So we're just cooking for us. I mean, my brother will probably come over, hopefully, because really my brother is the only family that I have left that would come over and hang out. So I'm also planning. I got some stuff to make a video, and I know there's been a lot of like this keto stuffing recipes going on, but I was going to make keto chaffles. And I know that that's been kind of a thing that's been done by some other people, but I have a recipe that I've been using that I think it's pretty easy and quick, and I'm gonna make that. I went looking for a frozen Ameripois. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Probably not. Let me know in the comments if I am not pronouncing Ameripois correctly. They didn't have any frozen at Walmart, but I got fresh, which basically means I need to film that video today. So hopefully by the end of this week, hopefully before Thanksgiving, I have a keto stuffing chaffle video up for you. And I know that there's a couple other of those out there, but hopefully my recipe is different enough. And because mine is pretty easy. So quick, easy, to the point. It says that Sif Joe. He probably does. I just I haven't looked at his merch in a long time. And Joe says he couldn't go to sleep. It's them dang video games. That is my kids, man. Like my youngest kid, he works at UPS and plays video games all night. He gets off work at like 10, 11 o'clock at night and then plays video games all night until like 6 a.m., goes to bed, gets up just in time to make it on time to work. I'm like, you're missing out on so much. But at the same time, when I was his age, it wasn't video games for me. It was AOL chat rooms and AOL Messenger and talking to people all over the country and learning how to type, weirdly enough. I wasn't good at typing until AOL came into my life. And then I'm like, one day just sitting here typing along and talking to my grandma. And I'm like, hey, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm typing without looking. It was amazing. I know. And Joe, for $1.99 super chat says, I can't figure anything out. Thank you for the super chat. I think this might be my actual first super chat. Y'all gonna make me cry today. I'm telling you. Being serious here. I'm already heavily emotional anyway. I think Shander and my cycles all line up, you know. At least that's the funny way we joke about it around here. We'll be sitting watching a movie, and I'm thinking, we're synced up, babe. And she's like, shut up. And she's crying too. She'll never admit that she cries. She'll never, ever, ever admit it. But she does sometimes, like once or twice a year, maybe. So it says, Wes used to have aprons and such with it on it, but looking for all, and now just our t-shirts with his logo on them. Okay. Oh, that keto fudge. Yeah, we finished that off between going and coming back from Florida. Jen's making her family stuffing. It's the only time I use low carb bread, but my stuffing is my favorite Thanksgiving side. Just have lots of leftovers. So, okay, so I'm making probably some keto stuffing, maybe if I can make it back to the store, because they didn't have any sage sausage. I had to get regular sausage. Hopefully that'll work fine. I think I may have a sage in the freezer from last year. If I thaw that on, it doesn't smell like farts, I'll make it. But I'm making 2 turkeys, and I think everything else is going to be not keto because the kids are cooking mac and cheese, pies, and all kinds of other side dishes. And I think Shander's making some apple pies, some real apple pies. Um, she doesn't cook or bake or anything very often, usually just around Thanksgiving, maybe Christmas. She might make some what are they called? Cheesecakes, but I don't know. I think she's using actual graham crackers for the crust, so it's probably not going to be keto either. So it's not going to be a very keto Thanksgiving this year. But I think in turkey, I might make some keto stuffing. Um, so we'll see how it plays out. And then she's picking up Friday, so we're not even doing Black Friday shopping this year. But we hardly ever really do Black Friday shopping anyway. Good on the mirepoix. Okay, all right. Says Wes has a link in the description of his videos labeled t-shirts and aprons where you can find merch with Sif Joe on it. Go buy one. Help him out. Support him. He lives in San Diego. That can't be affordable. It's beautiful. His pictures, I follow him on Instagram, and it's always beautiful blue skies and all that stuff out in San Diego. Yeah, there's his link there, everybody. Good morning, Maitreya. You still need to send me a picture for my thumbnail for your Saturday sit down with me in 2024. Do you guys know that I'm booked up all the way till February now? In like 2 weeks, I've been able to get booked up from just having the inkling to do it with James, having him on, and then reaching out to some people and then being booked up for the rest of this month, all of next month, and all of January in 2 weeks. I'm telling you, I'm getting emotional. So it's not really a secret because I've been putting up everybody who's coming on. The only one I don't have up is Adam from Keto Calculator. He has not yet sent me a photo, and I was looking online and trying to find a photo of him for the thumbnail, and they were all like super low res, and it didn't look right. I'm waiting on Maitreya, and I just booked Dave Dana last night. So if you're not familiar with who Dave Dana is, he is a person that I found on Twitter. I don't think he has a YouTube channel. He started at over 400 pounds like 18 months ago. He's been going to the gym every day, um, posting like gym content, but like beginner, like solid beginner gym content. Like, hey, I'm here, I'm showing up, I'm putting in the work, and he's lost weight. He's been like, not only that, but he's also talked about like getting, alleviating himself from debt. He's been working hard on every aspect of his life, weight loss, getting out of debt, um, health, eating better. Obviously, that kind of goes along with it. Whether or not he's fully keto, we'll discuss when we talk to him the last Saturday of January, the 27th, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But so much that he was posting about his gym workouts that Arnold Schwarzenegger picked up on his stuff and started like reposting and making like little videos about it. And my fifth grade self exploded. Okay, so in the fifth grade, all along, I've been a huge Arnold Schwarzenegger fan, all of his movies, probably was too young to be watching most of them, to be honest, like Commando, Red Heat, um, Terminator 2, all these movies, amazing. Kindergarten, I remember going to see Kindergarten Cop with my mom at the movie theater. Um, Used to have Terminator on VHS that we recorded from the TV. I remember watching Commando one night on TV, and then I just had all the VHS tapes. After a while, I had everything from like Red Sonja. I had Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer, Red Sonja, which is probably a deep cut that probably most of you probably may never even heard of. But long story short, ridiculously huge Arnold Schwarzenegger fan as a kid. Still am to this day. And I try not to let like all of his politics and all that stuff kind of cloud that fandom that I had because that was such a big part of my life. But in the fifth grade, we got a flyer in school about this fitness thing that was happening, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was going to be there. I lost my mind. Now, mind you, as I said, this was passed out to us at school in the fifth grade. Getting the principal to sign off on us to be able to go to this thing, one, the principal made us like get there like halfway through. I can't remember if my mom I know one of the moms picked us up and one of the moms dropped us off or whatever, you know what I mean? Dropped us off and then picked us up. It was like this fitness place, like I couldn't even tell you where it is now, but not far from it was in Indianapolis, obviously. But by the time I showed up, he was already gone. So that's like weighed heavy on my soul forever. So I hope to maybe one day be able to meet him. I wanted to meet him when I was in the fifth grade because my little head would have been all right. Um, But yeah, so that fact that I saw, like Dave Dana getting those shout outs and those little videos, I was like, it was amazing. and I totally support him and that so, and it's amazing watching someone's transformation and he just got married to his new bride this weekend and like super amazing, just so much working. He's putting so much effort into his life. I just really needed to sit down and talk with him. As I mean, that's a big part of why what I want to do. I want to support all of you. Any of you that want to sit down with me at any time, let me know. As I said, I'll always give all of you first dibs on dates. Any Saturday you want that's not already pre-booked. But I will do anything in my power to get you all on here to talk to me. Um, in the meantime, I'm just reaching out to other people to see who will want to talk to me. And like I said, it's just insane that people are so responsive. And I'm booked up to February. It's crazy. Get to the chopper. Yes. Mary. I'm going to try making 2KK mac and cheese for Thanksgiving. I thought about that, but I'd be the only one that would eat it because, I mean, our kids are making their mac and cheese. So no one would eat ours. So I might make that later on afterwards and see if I can make a smaller serving of it or something like that. I will reach out to her and see if she will come. I imagine she will. Um, yeah, I'll reach out to her after this. It's not a tumor. Who was your daddy and what does he do? So there was a band back in the mid 2000s. It was like a parody heavy metal band called Austrian Death Machine, and it was like heavy metal, but there were no lyrics really, but it was basically just Arnold Schwarzenegger quotes from his action movies. Who is your father and what does he do? Who is your father and what does he do? Get to the they like songs like get to the chopper. It's not a tumor. Yeah, it was funny. It was basically like I can't think of the band that was basically I can't think of the name of the band. I know. I'm terrible. Okay, here's a fun fact. We've had a Sam's Club membership for like 2 years we didn't know about. Do you know how we realized we had a Sam's Club membership? Because they took a payment out the other day, and we're like, "Wait, 60 or $40 or whatever to Sam's Club," and I'm like, "For renewal," I'm like, okay," because we had went and got one from Groupon one time, and then that went away, and then we went in and got another one from Groupon, signed up under Chandra's name, and then we would go sign up, go that day, and then not go again. It's weird. It's just where our Sam's Club is. It's just kind of in a spot where we don't go. Like there's nothing else that we do around there. It's not near anything we do. Where Costco is probably maybe just as far, but it's more in line with places that we go. It's like across from a Walmart, and there's other stuff over. You know what I mean? Like I would like to go to Sam's Club more. Our kids even have a Sam's Club membership. We do too, I guess. And I still haven't been again. I need to go and check it out. Um, yeah, I'm always looking to see if they have anything going on, uh, keto related, any kind of keto snacks and all that stuff. I've never seen them actually have pork belly before. I always get mine from Costco, and I'm sure that they're all different and such. But and I had a fleeting thing in my brain hole that I was going to talk about, and then it slipped away. I guess it wasn't that important. Anyway, what I do love, what I do love is the Sam's Club scan as you go, and then you pay, and then you just leave. Or you show them your receipt, they scan an item, and you go. If Costco would do that, but Costco's like, it's too much theft risk. I'm like, is it though? Is it? Let's see. Air fry. Shauna says, uh, morning when all of your left coast and wake up stupid early. That's like well, so that's like I've been talking with people who are on the left coast, if you will, about doing sitting down with me, and I'm like, okay, well, what's a good time for you? And some people are like, well, how about 8 o'clock my time, and then so I've got Neely coming up. More people in like the central time zone. I think Neely might be the only person I have on the left coast right now. But I've got Goody Beats coming up. I've got Steve from Serious Keto coming up. Next week is Cindy. Super excited to have her on. Then the week after Cindy is Bob, semi-retired Bob. Grant Gregory is in the house. He said he did carnival for a month, but I got ill with the fam, so I needed to reset. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's kind of difficult. So, like, if you're not used to doing carnivore or that kind of way of eating, it can start that when you start like doing like pure carnivore, like just meat and eggs and such. It's going to mess with your gut biome, and it's going to cause you gastric distress. Is a nice way to put it, I suppose. So you have to deal with that. Then if you kind of get ill or sick on top of it, then that could truly, you know, cause complications as well. And Grant Gregory, a new member. I need to get some kind of like I need to get some kind of like video that I play when that happens. I know Nick has one. I need to make one. I got to figure something out. I need to figure this out. Thank you, Mr. Gregory. I appreciate you. Okay. Now to eat my eggs. All right. Video topic, what I learned in 2023. Yes. That wasn't what I was going to mention a minute ago. It was more like Costco and Sam's Club aligned. But yeah, so let me get through the rest of these comments and then I will talk about what I've learned in 2023. Where am I? Kim Howerton. I would love to sit down with Kim Howerton. She was a sweetheart at Keto Palooza, and I really enjoyed her talk. Her talk was very fascinating. Um, that we don't have to be perfect and such. So I really want to get her on because that's my motto is consistency and finding out what works best for you over perfection because we're never going to be perfect. Not ever. Radical Geek is a new member too. I didn't even see that. I scrolled right by it, I guess. Maitreya, you are the best. Holy cow. No, I'm lost. Where am I at? Hilo chips are at BJ's and Costco currently. Yeah, and Costco had them like super cheap, like $5 a bag. So I got 2 bags. They were like the chili, the chili verde flavor or whatever. So I got 2 of those. Um, and I saw a post that, oh my goodness, you guys. You guys are gonna make me cry. um, that porking good pork rinds are coming back to Costco, the white cheddar flavor. I told them I was like, if you put the sour cream and onion flavor in the big bags in Costco, I'd probably go broke. I mean, the white cheddar is a very, very good flavor, but my heart is with sour cream and onion because I mean that was the chips that I liked and all that fun stuff. Holy moly, you guys. That's yeah. That's what I understood, but I just always want to clarify that if you are somebody who is going into a new way of eating, such as carnivore, it can cause initially for maybe a week or 3 sometimes. It can cause that initial like gut biome reset where you are like racing and you're getting photo finishes and such, if you understand what I'm saying. And then if you get sick on top of that, then that can add further complications. You got to make sure you're doing all the electrolytes. And I've got Chandler drinking electrolytes. Can you believe it? I've been buying the liquid IV sugar free from Costco. They may not be the best, but I mean, realistically, they're right there in a place that I'm going. I don't have to go online. I don't have to order them. I mean, and I know I have affiliate companies that I work with that have really good and delicious electrolytes, but it's just so much easier to go, okay, I'm at Costco, yank, and put them in the cart. Hopefully, more companies will get out there and be in stores because ordering online may be convenient in some aspects, but it's just that instant, like, okay, well, I need it, and put it in the cart, and then I don't have to think about it again until the bag is empty. But yes. Oh, I guess I misread who it was. Let me go through and see who all these new members are because I don't want to get confused. So we got Cindy, we got Mr. Grant Gregory, Radical Geek. It says Mr. Grant Gregory is. Oh, Grant Gregory gave 20 gift memberships. Holy moly. Dude. Dude. Bruh. As my middle son would say. That's insane. That is so crazy. So Mr. Grant Gregory gifted 20 people memberships. Y'all want me to cry, don't you? It's not very nice crying on a Sunday morning. It's supposed to be easy like Sunday morning, not like weepy like Sunday morning. That was a good one. You can use that if you want. Mm. Oh. Hmm. Got all teary eyed. So I've always been curious about that. Like I understand like the concept, and I've seen what other people do it for. Like, so what is your reasoning to do the 50 grams of honey? I mean, it's only 50 grams of carbohydrates, and if you're eating a basically a zero carb diet the rest of the time, 50 grams of carbohydrates in a week is probably not going to impact you negatively at all. As far as I understand, I mean, I may be a little out of touch on that, but I'm always curious to see what's your why with that, because it's very interesting. I've never been huge on honey, but yeah, I am sold on my gamer supplements. That was something I saw. So I was at Walmart, and they have these like gamer focused little mini fridges, like the ones that hold 6 cans, but they only hold the 12-ounce cans. And I'm thinking, how many gamers are drinking 12-ounce drinks? And I'm sure there's probably some out there who were kids who are drinking like Mountain Dew and stuff. But most of the time it's like G Fuels, and they're all 16-ounce cans. And you can fit like maybe 2 cans in there instead of 16-ounce cans. I'm like, that's just weird marketing to me. It doesn't like it's not fully thought out. Greg Gregory, I know exactly what video I need to make now. I got to figure out how to get it. I have it. I know. I believe in you, Jen. I believe in you. So anybody who got a membership from Grant Gregg, just make sure you click accept, is what he's saying. Let me see if I can find it on mobile. Oh, that's amazing. Let me see here. It may not be, because I'm looking at like if you click on my thing, it says, "Hi, I'm Dustin, and I want to make keto simple." Manage videos. That might just be for me. Membership. It's all you scroll all the way. So you goes home, videos, short, live, podcast, playlist, community, membership, and store. Because I do have merch as well, but I had need to update those. They're not very good. And when I click membership, it shows me just my membership tab or whatever, but it may allow others to join. I'm not sure. So let me know. Let me know if that's what that does. Mobile, because they keep changing stuff around. They keep changing things. So the lion diet, in my opinion, is a kind of like what people will use beef, butter, bacon, and eggs for, as like an elimination diet. But it's like people who have severe like autoimmune disorders, severe like you've got like what Michaela Peterson had, where like at 16 she's having joints replaced. I think there's a definite place out there for people, in my opinion, not a doctor, not a healthcare professional, not medical advice, But I imagine that there is a place and time for something like the lion diet to help you cut through the noise of all the food you're eating. So just water, salt, and beef, because there's so much that we take in and there's so many ingredients and stuff. Even the cleanest things can be contaminated with stuff that you're not really fully aware of. There's nothing pure in the food industry. I mean, you can get, I mean, as clean as you want. I mean, what the FDA allows so much contamination per whatever and each item and all that stuff, like peanut butter and, whatever. So I think that that's a good way to find out what's truly causing you issues. If you're having major issues like joint deterioration and all that stuff, lion diet, I don't necessarily think is for most people because I don't think it's necessarily the most sustainable. I mean, even the Maasai people have milk, beef, blood, and milk, but eggs are essential. Like yesterday, I made like 6 scrambled eggs and I made like 7 hard boiled eggs, right? So amazing. Nonlinear magic. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I don't think I've seen you in here before. Thank you for joining us. Winnie the Pooh loves honey. Yeah. But I think he's eating more than 50 grams a week. He's eating like jars and jars a day. Uncle Big Guy's in the house. Good morning. Good morning. Gamer Subs is an anime brand with nootropic, and it comes either caffeine free or energy drink levels of natural caffeine. The one thing about all of those, and I mean the outside of the canned ones, like my youngest would buy G Fuel in the tubs, and he would be like, "Try this flavor," and it's like it's not carbonated, and that really threw me off. So I think if I was going to get into those, I would probably invest in a Soda Stream, maybe something adjacent to that to add carbon dioxide or add carbonation to it. But that was one of the things that was weird, right? She says, that says, click up on the present up on top chat, and there should be a bar that says accept. Is that something that I need to do? I'm confused. You can tell that I haven't had any of these things before because I don't know what's going on. That'll be so cool. I think you mentioned that in the chat or in the text the other day. Yeah, I need to reach out to Jen. Hopefully, Jackie can make it. Let me see what's going on here. So amazing. So Joe says that he buys all the G Fuel and tubs, hoping they have a good ones for Black Friday sales. Okay, okay. Like I said, this is all new to me. It's kind of overwhelming too because I'm trying not to be an emotional mess about people being so generous to me. Like for real. Wayview? You're gonna have to elaborate because I don't know what that is. I'm totally like the opposite of a gamer. I haven't played really video games in decades, really. Well, a decade or better. Like PS3 is when I was playing video games a little bit at my buddy's house, and then I played D&D a few times. Um, yeah. So ribeye and eggs, and I ate a bunch of organ meat. Turns out I had vitamin excess, which I didn't know how. Let's see, changes of your wow. Lesson learned. So I got to your channel because of keto. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, I mean, it eating meat only is difficult because I, weirdly enough, have grown to really enjoy broccoli and Brussels sprouts. Something that I never ever would have eaten as a kid, ever. I would just had so much trouble. And now I love it. Like roasted Brussels sprouts is like one of my favorite things to get at for going out to a restaurant and they have it sold or making them, at home with onions, um, over buttered broccoli, you know, over buttered broccoli. I might make some broccoli for Thanksgiving as well. Okay. I foo. Basically over sexy anime girls. I mean, I can get behind that. So Jin is right. So this is like what I've learned in 2023. So much. I've been to two conferences. This year alone has. Now I know I met a good amount of people. I met some of you no December of last year. I met Jackie and James and Emily, Don and Mike, um, Jen, Jennifer Lucas. Um, that kickstarted almost everything that happened in 2023. My involvement in Keto Palooza, me going to Low Carb for Better Health, me going to multiple meetups, going to Columbus twice and meeting so many amazing people, having two major meetups here in Indy, well, west of Indy anyway. Um, One of the main things that I learned in 2023 was the overwhelming amount of love, caring, acceptance, help, and all that stuff that our community brings. Most of the keto stuff I've already known. Usually it's just kind of a tweak here and there. But I think what I've learned in 2023 is exactly how important community is to our lives. They say it takes a village to raise a child, and it takes a community to get yourself through a lot of stuff. I say no man is an island, and that's 100% correct. Sometimes when we get upset or we get overwhelmed, our first instinct is to withdraw and hide and not talk to people. And that's almost the worst thing you can do. Now, I mean, everybody needs a little bit of alone time. Everybody does. I do. I have alone time on the weekends when I'm go out to go. I go door dashing, and I'm kind of by myself, listening to books or podcasts, giving myself a little breathing room. But we have to learn to not to withdraw when things get hard or uncomfortable, but to really rely on those in our community to, even if it's just for encouragement or just a listening ear, because everything that we go through is a lot. And everything that we go through, someone else has gone through as well to some degree. And we shouldn't have to go through this alone because it's difficult. And I think if you go through things alone too much, you get to the point where you may not be, you might be learning lessons, but you may not be learning the fact that other people have gone through it and there may be a better way to get through it. And it may be a less painful way to go through it. And, you know, So I think that's the most important part of 2023 for me and what I've learned. And I'm hoping that 2024 is exponentially more community filled because there's so much to learn from each other. There just is. And that's one reason that I kind of took the recommendation of James of having someone come and sit down and talk with me on Saturdays and ran with it because there's so many people in our community that do things differently. They have a different outlook, a different perspective, they have a different history, and they have so much they can share with us because even if we may not agree with what they do may not work for us personally, there's still things that they've gone through and things that have gotten to them to where they are and finding out what works best for them that can help us on our journeys as well. And I think opening up and being receptive to others' opinions, others' way of doing things. I mean, you can probably learn something from vegans. And I know that that a lot of people in the community will talk. I mean, and I have in the past too. I'm guilty talking trash about vegans. Now, is vegan, in my opinion, a healthy alternative? Probably from the basic standard American diet. Probably if they're doing a whole food clean vegan, but I don't think they're going to get enough bioavailable protein. But that's not my business necessarily outside of giving that opinion. Me telling them what they should or shouldn't do is none of my business. And I shouldn't judge them for that because we see the judgment go back and forth. Vegans don't want people to eat meat and meat eaters don't want people to be vegan. And really, what we should be focusing on and championing, is that a word? Championing? I don't know. You'd think that I'm 44 years old, I'd be better with words, but we should be championing. I'm going to go with it. Each other and not what you do, but finding the right path to what you need to do or what's best for you, I should say, is a better way to put it. Because having the tools to look inward on yourself and find out where you are in your life, what makes the most sense to you, what's going to be actually sustainable and healthy. It's like a healthy, sustainable level, right? It's kind of like the crazy hot scale. If you understand, I guess you'll understand. But so you've got healthy along the bottom and you've got sustainable up the top. So you got to find what's healthiest for you and also where it's the most sustainable. Because it doesn't matter how healthy your way of eating is if you're doing it for one day a week. It's only going to make a difference if it's 90, 95, even 80%. But doing it one day a week or one day on and 10 days off, not going to do you much good. So being able to find out what is sustainable for you, as well as like where you can get on that scale, sustainable and healthy for you is the most important. And I think being able to be honest with ourselves and relying on a community that's open and understanding and not judgmental and focused on the community itself and the betterment of the individuals in the community. Because I think if we can focus with each other, help each other, and guide each other towards what's best for the individual and not get caught up in the minutia, say like in the carnivore community where they're like, well, you shouldn't be using spices. Okay. I mean, are you better off without spices? Maybe. But is salt, pepper, and garlic powder gonna make or break your lifestyle? Probably not. It's probably gonna keep you more consistent if it tastes good and tastes better to you. It's not like smoking. Are you gonna be better off smoking or not smoking? Not smoking, 100%. But that's like saying, if someone goes from smoking and into vaping like temporarily or whatever. Is that better? Probably. I can't say because I mean it's still a new process and we don't really know. But I mean, if you just pick up one and drop the other, it's probably not for the best. But I mean, if you, I don't know, I'm kind of getting off on a tangent. But anyway, you get my point. Let me look at some of these. Let me your comments here and see what we've got going on. I feel like I've been talking too much. Joe, thank you, sir, for becoming a member. Thank you. There you go. Oh, I'm going to miss it. Friendsgiving is at 3 post. Okay. I do feel like it's going to be a while before we all get together again. I know that we're probably going to be doing the keto or the indie meetup again in May, hopefully earlier in May and not later in May, because even though we're far out west and probably not impacted so much by the Indianapolis 500, people trying to get from other parts of the city or other states have to travel through, and that is an impact. So I think earlier the better. They used to do like almost the entire month of May, and there was something going on every day. And that's not so much the case anymore. Mr. Grant Gregory is going to bed. Thank you so much. Thank you. And we will. And I'll see you soon. Meeting Wellness joined us, and I didn't say hello. I apologize. Good morning. See, that's how I feel. I feel thankful, overwhelmed with joy because it's crazy how just seeing something like Jackie's post to do a meetup at BW3's in the middle of this, all right, at the beginning of December of 2022. And Chandra wasn't working her new job yet, where she was still working, not working every weekend. So she had the day off, and so we decided to go. And that changed the course of this channel, really. I mean, 100%. It changed the course of the channel. I felt like I didn't have I was a part of the keto community. I was involved with people on Instagram and Twitter and such, but it's not the same. So I see like those two platforms as a lever to help move the channel forward and help grow the community. So meeting her and James and Emily and everybody that I did that day was a huge addition to my life. And I'm grateful every day. I made some great friends. Literally people who will drive from states over to have lunch with us. And I've said this before. I have friends who live in the city who won't drive across town to have lunch with me. I mean, you have friends you accept who they are, and that's just how it's been for a long time. But it's just a whole other level if you come across people who live 3.5 hours away and are going to drive that far to have lunch. It's just, I don't have words for it really because I mean, it makes me emotional, makes me grateful, but I don't have enough words in my vocabulary to truly express just how thankful and grateful I am for that. I feel this too. I've never okay, so I've always kind of fought to have friends. I always pushed myself into places, and that has a different feeling. So you may have like a friends group that I've had friends groups and such, and I would push my way in because I wanted to be friends with them and I wanted to do the things that they did. Sometimes that works out, sometimes it doesn't. You just either you don't feel accepted, you don't feel like they value you as a person, they have you around because it's might be convenient for some reason. It might feel they might feel obligated, they might feel sorry for you. And luckily, I've been able to grow as a human as I've gotten older, not from high school on through adulthood, and be more perceptive and friendly, far more outgoing than I ever used to be. The ability to talk to people in person is huge. I always had a huge trouble with that in elementary school, middle school. Not so much elementary school, your kids and you just blabble on about stuff to people. You're like, oh, Transformers, Transformers. You know what I mean? When you get into middle school and that social dynamic changes and it becomes more about popularity and such. And that becomes difficult. And the social anxiety and not being able to properly convey and communicate your thoughts into words, the proper words that people are accepting to hear in middle school, early high school, late high school, going into the workplace when you become an adult, learning how to interact with other humans in a manner that's acceptable, that helps you become a better person. I've been very fortunate that I have been able to sort of grow that. And I believe that I've had employment that helped me with that because I was forced to talk to people on the phone. Now, it is a difference talking to face to on the phone, but just having the confidence to talk to somebody on the phone and be able to convey the thoughts and be able to utilize things like economy of words. So you're not like I get to where I kind of go around in circles sometimes trying to convey a thought, but I digress on that. But just I'm so thankful that I am where I am now with this community. All of you coming out, sharing your journeys, your day to day struggles, your successes, because I think we forget sometimes to share our successes. And it's success, and it's blah, 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 blah. And the success is as small as I didn't eat a bag of M&Ms today. I didn't go to McDonald's today. Doesn't have to be I lost 10 pounds this month. It doesn't have to be that. It could be anything small. It could be huge, you know? I never thought that I would be somebody that would sit in front of a camera and talk to people at least 3 times a week. I was setting up to do a live stream on Thursday, and I even so the issue with that is the people that I'm doing the live stream or was gonna do the live stream with, they're not Americans. One's a Scotsman who lives in Canada, who's now a Canadian, and then and then the rest are all English. They're all from, like, Hartlepool, England, and they live all over the world now, depending on the time of year or whatever. They might be in Spain, they might be in California, they might be who knows where. They travel a lot. So, we get together and we do the Rock and Roll Rowdies thing, and I had planned this Thursday to do something with them, and then I was like, "Oh, wait, Thursday's Thanksgiving." Ba-dum-bum. So I'm cooking 2 turkeys, 2 14, almost 15-pound turkeys because we eat a lot of turkey, but we don't eat it all the time. So Joe says vegans have taught me that if I bring a meat dish to an event, that I do not have to share it. Yes, indeed, indeed. Yes, championing is a word. Okay, good. I'm sometimes I make up words in my own head. Mary says she's fine with 95%. Good morning. Good morning, Brenda. I'm glad you are here. Chatting is hard when I shouldn't be awake yet. Reminds me, I have more coffee here. I don't know why I shameless plug Bucky's. I always make sure that the you can see my little Bucky's guy. It's not like they're going to sponsor me or anything. I mean, why would they do that? But I just love them. I just love Bucky's, and I know we'll eventually get them here in Indiana. Then that'll like the luster will kind of wear off because I have to drive hours and hours to get to them. Like the closest one is like 4 hours away, or will be 4 hours away when it opens up. Well, no, there's one 3.5 hours away, but yeah. The one that's opening up 4 hours away is in a route that I travel more often. Mm. So I talked about this yesterday on my live stream. The other day, I decided to weigh how much heavy cream I use because I just poured in. I put my coffee in and I just poured in. I had put in 8 ounces of heavy cream. Not good. I mean, it's delicious. It's scrumdiddlyumptious. So yesterday, I then put in 6 ounces of heavy cream, and today I put about 5 ounces of heavy cream. I gotta find the sweet spot for me. 'Cause I drink so much coffee, and I drink one of these a day at least, and it's 30 ounces. So I have to make sure that I get a good cream coffee ratio that's not going to set me back. So yeah, so it says I feel that vegans have a lot of the same issues that we do. So much manufactured crap. Yeah, I have a friend that was vegan for a long time, and I don't know if she changed from being vegan because of me. Might be giving myself too much credit there. But we had some discussions about meat and farming and stuff, and then now she now lives in Texas and does eat meat. Um, I think a lot of people go to vegan out of desperation, just like some people go to the lion diet or carnivore. There's a desperation to them because they don't feel good. They're sick. And society and everything, and most doctors are pushing, plant based is healthy. Eat your vegetables. Eat your vegetables. And, an apple a day keeps the doctor away has been a thing that's been said for as long as I can understand English. So about a week. Anyway, they have been saying these things for decades. So obviously we're going to think that vegetables are the way to go. And I mean, and if you go true vegan and go like full on and you're not eating like processed stuff and you're not eating fake meat and all of that, you're probably going to feel better. Probably going to feel real good at first. But I feel that like the lack of actual bioavailable protein does start to weigh, and I think a, an impact with, again, I'm not a medical professional, I'm not a doctor, I don't play one on TV. I think the lack of animal proteins can impact mental health, mental clarity over time. And I mean, that's probably something that is being looked at in some studies at this point. So it might come to light that it's true. It might not. We'll see. I guess depends on the study, right? And who's funding it and if they shelf it. 'Cause they do shelve a lot of studies that don't show what the people who paid for it wanted to say. Brenda's in the house. I know I spoke about her just a minute ago, but I just want to make sure she knows that we see her. John Guggenheim is heading out. Thank you so very much for being here, sir. I appreciate you always. See you in the next live that you come to. Rick Wynn is in the house. Joe. All right. So we see meeting well. Christy says, "Love our community." Christy's going to be on talking with me sometime. I can't remember the date right now. I have to make. Oh, I have to make her. I have to make hers as well. I have to make her thumbnail and all that fun stuff. I probably do that after this stream. I love our community too. It's so helpful to help me navigate the way of eating. I'm still kind of new 9 months in. Welcome. We are glad you are here. And hopefully you will find helpful information along the way. I imagine she's talking about driving all that way to come and visit with me, but regardless, it's still like it means so much. Oh, and Cindy's bringing me a creamy. Do you have any idea how excited I am for that creamy? Like last night, I was looking through the cabinets. I was like, I made something. I went door dashing and grocery shopping. And as I said, door dashing has been really crappy recently. And like, I did it for like 2 hours and made like $25. But, and, I don't know what's going on with it. Maybe there's too many people doing it, or like the app is telling me that it's super busy, but it's not. I don't know. Anyway, I get home and I'm like, you know what? How come there are never snacks for me in the house? And I realize, you know what? I do the grocery shopping. I don't buy snacks for me. So, like, grocery store me is looking out for snacky me, and snacky me hates grocery store me. It's like that Megadeth song, Hello Me, or whatever. Maybe you'll get the reference, maybe you won't. I think I am driving to Kentucky for some of that pork belly, so I understand. Takes me a little more planning to get that far. I get that, Dustin. It's about fitting in versus belonging. Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes you have to try to fit in, but truly belonging is effortless. You find the right group of people and they embrace you, and there's love and understanding and all that mushy stuff. I think the world could be that way. But I think there is a part of human dynamic that keeps it from being that way. Human evolution has kind of kept us from that. Because I think as history and humans have evolved, we were in small groups. I think it's a group of 12 is the size to truly, truly trust each other with your lives. Like, so if you have a tribe or a community and it's only 12 people, and you depend on those 12 people for everything you have. So we're talking not like a modern civilization type thing. We're talking like way back olden day type stuff. So like a group of 12, you truly trust them with your lives. That's the size that's where that works. And then we get to civilization, we start building up, and tribes were typically about 120 people, 112, 120 people, where you were able to maintain a relationship, know them all, know their names, and kind of keep up on their lives. So just like 112, not like 112 close friends and then like 1,000 acquaintances. That was your whole world. That's everybody you knew was in that 112 group. And then as society expands, we get into cities, we're dealing with millions of people, we're dealing with social media where we now have access to countless people, billions of people, and our circles grow and grow. And we have sort of quickly conditioned ourselves to where we don't have as much availability for the individuals in our life because there are so many. Now, that obviously gets boiled down into household. It gets boiled down into your inner circle, your outer circle, acquaintances, business relationships, all of that. There's a lot of that. So you just have to kind of understand the dynamic. So like for us, my family, my base core is me, Chandra, the kids, granddaughter, our bonus son, my brother. That's the bonus. And I have, my stepdad, and I have my aunt and uncle and my cousins. That's kind of like a step away from that. I don't see most of them, even the ones that live in town, I don't see very often. And then I have some that live states away and I don't see very often. I know sometimes they will come in and watch these things live, or they will watch them later. They don't always comment, or very rarely, if ever, comment type of thing. But I know they're out there, and they're there. I mean, and that group of my family, those cousins, and like that cousin and her kids, husband, they don't really do social media, so it's like they really are out of sight, out of mind, and I hate that because I feel like her kids are growing up so fast. Like every time I see them every couple of years, like they've grown so much, and I don't know anything about them as a personality. I think that's where I think social media comes in and is beneficial to us as a society. As we grow and live in these giant mega cities and multi-million people cities and suburbs and all that stuff, I think social media has a purpose. It may not be the purpose that it's used for mostly, but the availability of seeing people that you care about and being able to interact in their lives where you wouldn't otherwise. People who live states away, people who live on the other side of town who have busy lives and multiple kids and can't get away. Friends are the same way. I have friends that we used to hang out all the time. Now they have 4 kids and these crazy jobs, and you just don't see them anymore. It's not because you don't want to, it's not because you don't love them, but they're busy. You're busy. We're all busy. I don't know. I get off on these weird tangents. I am glad you are here. Yeah, heavy cream is tricky because this is like 5 ounces and it tastes so different from 8. I mean, like the 8 is like, and I just got to wean myself down. For years, I drank black coffee. Black coffee, I was fine with it. And then I did started keto, and it was the fat coffee, butter and coconut oil. And then I was like, well, I'll just use heavy cream instead. I am not going to go back to butter and coconut oil because that's expensive. I used to get the gallon coconut oil, the refined, so it didn't taste like coconut. Um, I can't remember the brand of it, but I would go through that, and that was like $17. I think it's like $45 now. So some things inflation have been super unkind. Yeah, I've done that before, and I find that I would use like a half to a whole stick, and I just don't find that it just doesn't have the same flavor. It doesn't add a creaminess. I mean, it did, it used to, but I've gone back and tried to have a bulletproof coffee like I used to make it back in the day. It just wasn't the same. Rude. I love you, Cindy. I think I forgot what this is about. I have no idea. Cindy says, I've never been a coffee drinker, and sometimes I wish I did like it. Everyone on YouTube that shows how they are making their coffee and it makes it look so good. Coffee is life. But again, there's just certain things in this world that either you're going to like or you're not. Like Brussels sprouts is one of those divisive things. Everybody has a way to make them that everyone's going to like if you'll just try it my way. I love Brussels sprouts. I don't care if they're like just cooked in butter. I like them soggy. I like them crunchy. I like them kind of burnt. I like them all kinds of ways. But there's people out there who aren't going to like them no matter how you make them. You can make yours to perfection. Like this is garbage, and that's okay. So that just means more coffee for me, Cindy. Brenda says that she started making caramel macchiato keto chow and drink it with her coffee. Seems to have also cut my coffee consumption. Also, yeah, which was not expected but needed. I cannot live without coffee. I have done it multiple times. I've gone a year or so without coffee before. Months, 6 months, 5 months, multiple times, trying to see if going without coffee would make my life better. And it did not. Do you like tea? Sometimes that's a ritual of making coffee that is important. Yeah, getting up, making it, sitting down, having quiet time. So that's what I used to do on Sunday mornings. I would get up with Chandra, get her out the door, make my coffee, sit down. But now like even when we get up, the sun's coming up already. But there was a time like the pre-daylight savings time or whatever it is, I would get up and have a good amount of time of the dark or in the dark where I could enjoy my coffee, sit in the quiet, and just enjoy it like, oh. But yeah, there's like just having something in the morning like that, whether it's a cup of water, hot water, hot water's, hot water and some lime, hot water and some lemon, a glass of whiskey, whatever. Maitreya says that she has no intention of giving up coffee, even though it is a trending thing to do right now. However, I have one 12-ounce cup and one espresso most days, and I think those giving it up drink a lot more. Yeah, I gave it up for a while. I gave up caffeine for a while because mid-pandemic, I was just started working from home, and I've told this story before, so if you've heard it, you can zone out for a little bit, I guess. But I got to where I was making cold brew coffee. I got a big container, a 2.5 gallon container, made room in the fridge, made putting anything else in there tricky. But you know what? Coffee is life. And I was making it was like half regular coffee and half of like a mocha or chocolate flavor or whatever from Starbucks. And I had a steeping bag in there, and I would leave that bag in there the entire time that I was drinking that 2.5 gallons. And I was drinking that in a week. And on top of that, having it with like an energy drink in the afternoon. So I was having like scary amounts of caffeine, probably more than I even know, because the longer you steep, the more caffeine there is. And cold brew has more caffeine to begin with. And I was drinking with a lot of heavy cream. So I think that's started my heavy cream. Like, oh, it just tastes like chocolate milk. I didn't put any sweetener in it, but it was just like cold and refreshing and delicious. Oh, yeah. She doesn't like tea either. So the weird thing for me, I didn't like coffee at first. And when I was growing up, when like we would go to like Steak and Shake or Denny's and hang out at night, because we couldn't go to the bars. We're like 17, 16, 18, whatever. And I would get like the orange spice tea and add sugar to it and drink it because everybody was drinking coffee. And then then I would start to drink coffee and I would put like it'd be more sugar and cream than it was coffee. And then over time, I kind of didn't drink coffee anymore. And then I smoked for a really, I mean, I smoked at that time too, but then I had a time where I didn't drink coffee. I didn't have any kind of those rituals or whatever. And then when I quit smoking in 2010, I still went outside because that was a thing to get away from your desk or whatever. And then I went picked up going to the coffee shop. Because I worked in like this 3 building complex, and the middle building had a coffee shop in it, or maybe it was the not the middle building. It was like the 3rd building over. We were in the first building. It was the middle building. Anyway, you don't care. Anyway, there was a coffee shop in one of the buildings. We would walk over there and get coffee every day, which weirdly enough turned out to cost me more than smoking. At least at the time, it probably wouldn't now. Well, I don't know. Coffee is expensive now too, but yeah. So then I would pick up coffee, and then we got a coffee maker for the office, and we'd make coffee every morning, and I would drink like a pot a day just by myself. I got to where like McDonald's coffee tastes really good, but McDonald's coffee is weird because it doesn't taste like any other coffee. And even if you buy the McDonald's brand coffee grounds, it doesn't taste the same as in the store. So I don't know what they're doing in there. They've got some wizard in there and they're doing something or like incantations, and I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I've been wanting a creamy for so long, and Cindy's like, yes, here you go. Because Cindy got a new one and she's giving her old one. I can't wait. You have no idea. Hibiscus tea. Mm. Chris Cook in Nashville. Thank you for joining us today. And thank you. Yeah. I thought I saw that you saw one of my posts on Facebook and liked it. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. It means the world to me. I know we have this, like, we have a very large community. And I think it's impossible to know everybody in the community. There's so many channels And even if you start to network and you start to get to know other channels and your channel list grows and grows, then it becomes harder and harder to watch everybody's channel and support each other. I mean, but it's still cool to find new channels and get to know other people because I'm never going to stop trying to get to know everybody. I'm a social person. Um, and I heard something, I was watching something the other day, and a lady referenced her social tank. So I'm very outgoing and I have and I have a very large social tank, but when it's empty and I'm ready to go. Or I'll just disappear for a little while. Tank will recharge and I can come back out and talk. I mean, that was even something that happened at KPL. In the morning, I was down there from like who knows what time in the morning Friday because we got there really early. I brought uh, Jim early because Jackie left early and to go and help set up everything. And so then by the time people started rolling in, it kind of got a little overwhelming, and my social tank was like, oh. So I went upstairs, hung out for a little bit. I laid on the couch and like cat napped for like an hour. And I got up, went downstairs, and I was recharged again. And then it was like for the rest of the night. Well, lucky I did that because that second half, like that 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon on till like midnight, was like so many amazing people, and I'm so glad, so glad. I keep referencing it because it was such a great time, and I'm looking forward to when she announces 2024, so we can start promoting that to death because I want it to sell out very quickly with all my friends being there. So, Shauna says she changed to butter earlier this year just to cut the carbs from. Yeah, it just doesn't mix as well. I don't know. And I mean, I can do, if I wanted to do like 8 ounces and do like half and half, that would probably be, it would probably be less carbs, but it wouldn't be as creamy. Half and half does is it's just like, it's like the little engine that couldn't, you know? Coffee is life. Shauna says she makes her caramel macchiato with a hot coffee in the AM. It helps me people and talking things. 100%. That is a lot. 3 pots? I feel you, though. I love my heavy cream and have to manage that and keep it limited. Yeah, I only really use it in my coffee, so I don't use it elsewhere and very sparingly. Sometimes I'll put it in, like, queso if I'm making some or something like that, but I don't use it really outside of my coffee. Sometimes I'll maybe add some to my bone broth or whatever I'm having broth, but usually if I'm drinking broth, I'm not having anything else that day. So, it's usually kind of a give and take. And really, even when I do my coffee in the morning, it's like a meal. But I mean, it's a meal that's like 16 carbs for a meal, which isn't terrible if I'm able to maintain like as close to 0 carbs for dinner, then that's not as bad. But I don't know like how is the dairy carbs versus like vegetable carbs because I don't think all carbs are created equal necessarily. I don't know. There's a whole discussion there as well, and probably not enough scientific evidence to back it up. I was also drinking a lot of energy drinks, Bang now that I gave them. Bangs I was drinking for a while, but I kind of switched back to like because they finally released the original flavor of Monster, but in a zero sugar. Because I thought that was pretty good. I'd had like 1 or 2 Monsters back in the day, and I thought it was a pretty good flavor. I still like the OG throwback Rockstar, but I have to order that on Amazon. If Rockstar wants to sponsor me, I would be totally okay with that because I do really like the throwback. It's like the throwback edition, if you can see that. But they don't sell it in stores anymore. They sell one that's similar, looks like it looks the same, sort of, but it's like a fruity flavor, and I don't like it. So I don't buy it. I don't know. I think there's a lot of people who like coconut. I just didn't want coconut in my coffee. I wanted the fat, but not the flavor, I guess. Does that make sense? Has anyone ever said that before? Because they're always like, fat is flavor, but I always wanted the fat but no flavor with the refined coconut oil. Yeah. Mary says she works nights and has to have her coffee. Well, I'm glad that you are here, even if you work late and you're up here early with me. Sometimes I like an egg in the coffee, but mostly just plain black. I've tried it and I don't know if it was just me or just trying it. It didn't add any real creaminess to it like you think it would. I mean, obviously it adds some protein, like what, 7 or 8 grams of protein because it's an egg, but I just don't feel it added a creaminess to it. I don't know. I don't know. Go and get you some. So Joe says she can't do heavy whipping cream. She's allergic to the caseins in the milk. It makes my nose run like a waterfall and I cough a lot. I cough a lot sometimes when I'm drinking coffee too, so maybe that's something for me, but I don't know if I'd give it up. Weird how that works out, right? I can drink fermented milk, but that's not as good in coffee. I don't know how fermented milk would be. That just sounds bad. Like I've never been one to even try like blue cheese because I know that cheese is like a moldy product anyway. But when you can see it, I'm less likely to want to put it in my face. When I had to do triple B and E, then craved eggs and butter coffee. Yeah. Alrighty. Thank you, Maitreya. She says, I appreciate you all and see a bunch of you tonight in coffee talk off for mom kid morning, my favorite time of the week. Enjoy. And I will stop by coffee talk tonight if I get a chance. I don't know if I'm going to be dashing tonight or not. That's where I've been like late nights. I've been dashing a lot. I didn't even get a chance to stop into Heath and Shelley's thing Friday night because I was door dashing. All righty, you be safe and have a good time. You need a little whisk. I need a new one of those like little frothers. I got a frother from a garage sale. It was like bundled with a French press for like $4, and it got bent, so now it's all wonky and doesn't work as good. I got to order another one, but they're like $10, and I don't feel like buying one. I'll get around to it. I even ask for butter in restaurants for coffee, and I order it now. Yeah, I feel that. So it says, I totally agree. Animal based carbs never seem to affect me as much as carnivore when I seem to have a lot better time handling animal carbs, but veggies kill me. Yeah. I mean, just what like I said, is like you got to find out what makes you feel optimal, what makes you feel good, what's sustainable. Because it's weird because how even something that may make you feel bad might keep you on a better track than cutting it out too sometimes. I know like that's like with keto treats because they might make you gassy or something. And then but you'll keep it around because it keeps you on track and keeps you from reaching for other stuff. Like I said, you just have to be honest with yourself and really do some deep dives on you and be honest with how you feel and honest with what you're putting in your body. I will absolutely be at Ketopalooza 24 asterisks. We will talk about taking a day before and after. We're in love with Jeff Ruby's best steak I've ever eaten. I didn't eat there. I didn't do much. I went to a few restaurants. One I didn't eat at, I just had a drink. That was mussels and burger or something like that. I just wasn't feeling the menu. It didn't look good to me, so I didn't get anything. But we went to Nick and Norman's. That was pretty fun. It was a Norman Reedus's restaurant with Nick. I can't think of what his last name is, but they both worked together on The Walking Dead. And I imagine they're probably both working together on that spinoff show with him as well. Good morning, Stacy. All righty. I will look forward to hearing you or seeing a comment from you later if you get a chance to watch. I appreciate you. Have a good day in church, dear. I gave up bangs so I could just enjoy coffee because the problem is a safe amount of caffeine to consume and Wiley has a flavor of coffee. Bangs, the problem I find with bangs is they've made them to the point where you don't even realize they're like zero sugar. There's like no aftertaste to some of them, and they just go down way faster than you think they're going to. Like there was I don't know if they make it anymore. They had a lemon drop one, and that was just dangerous because you'd want to drink like a few of those, and that's like heart attack city. You have a great weekend too. I think they go live at 9:30, right? I'm gonna cut this in time for to watch them. Unless they change their time. Hope not. No, they're still live at 9:30. Okay, so I'm not encroaching on them yet. It's only 9 o'clock my time, 9:05. I think a lot of us can be this way, Joe. I think a lot of us can be quite intolerable without coffee or incoherent or just kind of like, I don't know. That's why the first thing I do when I get up in the morning is make Chandra her coffee. Whether it's going in a to-go cup to go to work or if I'm making it for her and the little one and her little cup of milk. I make her coffee first before mine, and I make their breakfast, and then I can have my coffee and sit down and enjoy it because I don't eat till a little bit later. So today is laundry for me. I need to do some laundry today too. Some cooking for Thursday. I need a nap since getting up at 3. Having my live tonight with Anita at 7. All right. Doing things. Today is our family Thanksgiving with spouses and such, and it makes it easier to do a different day. Yeah, like when you're going to like 4 Thanksgivings in a day, it's such a whirlwind that like when you're done, you're miserable, you're tired, you're overstuffed, and you're like, what even happened? Like, did you even really be could you even be thankful for that? Like, it's just that's one thing, like kind of now we just have ours. The kids will sometimes go to their dad's, but he lives like on the other side of town. So it's difficult. So they may go to there earlier in the day, then they come over to our house for the night. So yeah, my nieces do keto, so not sure what all is going to be there to eat. So turkey for me for sure. And what I bring, of course. Obviously. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like even when keto people do keto, they may not always be keto, if you know what I'm saying. Or it may not be what you want. Bold carnivore in the house. What's up, sir? How are you? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. All right. I got to the end of the chat, and we've been doing this for over an hour and 30 minutes. I want to, again, share just how thankful I am for each and every one of you. All of you who have become members, subscribe to the channel, who are members, and to the gifted memberships, to Wes at Highfalutin Low Carb for sharing out my information and getting me over that hump of 4,000 subscribers. It's unbelievable. All of you are amazing. All of you are so wonderful for being here with me today. All of you being in the chat, being a part of my keto extended family, bringing things together, helping as many people as we can. I'm truly beyond grateful. I can't even express with words, as I've said before. I don't have the vocabulary to truly tell you how I feel. But I thank you. And Chandra and I will see you Tuesday night at 7 p.m. And then I'll be back next Saturday with Cindy DeManch and Sunday with coffee. Again, thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. I love you all, and I'll see you soon.